Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is part 2, the continuation of IAM part 1. If you don't know what I'm referring to, check out part 1 in the AWS playlist, or else you won't fully comprehend what I'm saying. Please subscribe, like the video. That motivates me to release more content, guys. Thanks. Let's move on. So basically, to give a brief description of what is happening here. So basically, we created a user called Fred. We also created a group called developers. We added Fred inside that group and assigned a permission called S3 full access. So basically that permission allows Fred to view or to access the S3 service only on AWS. Anything else, uh, access it restricted. So basically, to give an example of what I'm saying, I'm currently on the S3 service. As you can see, Fred can view the service. Fred can see how many buckets we have inside that service. Basically, currently we have one bucket, which is the Lokiwa website. So Fred can create a bucket, you know, he can do basically everything inside the S3 service. But if we go to EC2 right now, which is a virtual machine, basically EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. So it's just a virtual server in the cloud. So if you go to the service, as you can see, it gives API error. If I try to launch an instance, I cannot do that. Okay, I can go to launch instance, but I cannot actually launch the instance because Fred doesn't have permissions to do that. You just get API errors. And as I've said, um, everything you do in the AWS Management Console, it's an API. Um, like it's an API call, basically. So yeah. So now I'm gonna I hope you guys understand this particular topic of permissions um in terms of creating a group and assigning a permission to that group. So now we're gonna focus on creating permissions in an inline way. So we're gonna create inline permissions basically. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sign out of Fred's account. So that's me signing out. And I'm gonna go back to my root account. So I'm gonna click on sign in using root user email, and I'm gonna type in my email quickly, then enter my password. Then obviously it's gonna ask for the code, which is the MFA. I hope you guys also understand this part of MFA, which is stands for multi-factor authentication. It's a two-factor authentication to make sure that it is really you who is trying to access the AWS Management Console. And this is a cool feature, and it adds an extra layer to security in terms of AWS security and logins, So I'm gonna type in the code and click sign in. So there we go, back to our AWS root account. I'm gonna go back to the IAM service. There we go. So Inside here, what I want to do is I want to actually create a new user, you know, because I want to create a user and I'm not going to add this user in any group. So I want to create an inline policy actually. So I'm gonna go ahead, create the user. So this user, I'll name him John. And do I want to provide user access to the AWS Management Console? No. Why? Because I'm not gonna log in as John, you know. So I don't want to provide user access, you know. I just want to create this user and attach policies directly or attach inline policies. Then you remember this part where there is permission options. We have 3 currently. So for this one, copy permissions. Copy permissions, that just means you want to copy permission from a particular user and just copy and paste those permissions on this current user you are trying to create. That's all that means. And for now, we want to focus on attach policies directly. So basically right now I'm creating, I'm creating a user and as I'm creating a user right now and I'm trying to assign an inline policy to this user. So let's attach policies directly. You know, I don't want to add that user to a group. So the permission I want to give this user is called um CloudWatch. CloudWatch. Oh, sorry. CloudWatch full access. So there's a service called CloudWatch. It basically monitors every service in AWS. You'll learn about CloudWatch in the future. You don't have to worry about that for now. So I'm gonna click on next. The username is John. So console password type, none, require password reset. Remember, we didn't give this user access to the AWS management console. So that's the hence why the console password type is none, require password reset. It's no. The only permission we have assigned to this user is CloudWatch full access, and that's it. Text, you don't have to worry about that right now. I'm gonna go ahead and create this user. So basically, after creating this user, if I let's say I tick that box wherever it says I want to give access to I want to give John access to the AWS management console. So basically, after logging in inside that account, obviously I'll have only the only permission I assigned to the user, or yeah, the user, because it was an inline policy. It was, sorry, CloudWatch get full access or CloudWatch full access. So this user currently has access only to CloudWatch, which is a service that monitors other services, you know, on AWS. So if I log in using this user, that's what I'm expecting to see. The CloudWatch full access permission only. I hope you guys understand that part. Then for now, I'm gonna head to policies. Then actually, you can create your own policy. You know, remember that these policies here you see, they are AWS managed. So AWS is responsible for these permissions, but you can create your own policy. So if you want to create your own policy, you just click there. Then policy editor, you can select the service or you can select a service whereby you can specify what actions can be performed on a specific resource or resources in a service. Then you remember talking about JSON syntax, you can actually write that if you know the actual JSON, or that's what we call the, let me see if I could, if I can see it here. Then you can actually, no, let me see something. Let's say individual, I say I want to create a a policy for a service called, for example, let's say EC2. There's EC2 there. Click on it. Then you're gonna ask me if I want to remember the effect. Effect is either allow or deny. You can allow, let's say, the permission or deny the permission. So in my case, I want to allow. So action allowed, all EC2 actions. So I can tick this box. So dependent permission not selected, because remember the asterisk means everything in that service. So basically, if I create this permission if I create this permission and assign it to a user, the user will have access to everything in the EC2 instance. So that's basically how permissions work in a nutshell, and yeah, man, you can click on next if you want to create that permission, and after that you can assign that permission to a user, and that's that. And for now, I'm just going to cancel because that's about it. Now I wanted to talk about MFA, so actually you can go here. No, actually, this is the dashboard. So this is basically your IAM dashboard, guys. And remember that I already have in my root user account, I already have MFA enabled. So let me sign in as Fred to show you like the steps to actually create an MFA, the multi-factor authentication process. So basically, I'm gonna sign into the console quickly. Then the account alias is that for me. Then that's the username, and I'm gonna type in password for Fred real quick. Then go to IAM. Oh, remember that we don't have access to IAM. We only have access to S3 on this account. So I have to go back to the root account user and give Fred like the IAM full access kind of permission. So you see, guys, that's the benefit of not giving more permissions than a user needs. You can avoid things like a user accidentally creating things that you don't want on your account or deploying um services on accident, you know, or I don't know, man, someone doing things that you don't want on your account, you can easily avoid that type of things, you know. So that's what I like. Oh my god. That's what I like about permissions, about AWS permissions. So oh my god, am I typing wrong? So basically I have to come back to um the IAM service. Then inside here I'm gonna go to let's just say developers. Then in terms of permissions, I want to add another permission. So you can come in here, it's easy guys, and just add permission. Then it's gonna ask you if you want to attach a policy or create inline, but I only want to attach a policy, not create an inline policy, you know. And I'm gonna just search for IAM, sorry, IAM access. I'm gonna click on that. Then I'm gonna attach policy. Then policy is attached to this user group. So now if I exit this root account and go back to first account, I think my network is a bit bad, you know. So guys, please bear with me. So yeah, let me sign in as Fred. So I'm gonna type in Fred's password real quick. Then go back to IAM. So basically now we have access, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are enjoying this series so far, and this is actually my first time shooting like lecture videos, so I try my best, man, to, you know, make these videos and get recognition, you know, in terms of experience or what I know, you know. So yeah, as you can see here on the dashboard, we have add MFA for yourself, so you can actually go on and add MFA. So after clicking on that button, you'll be greeted by this select MFA device. So MFA device name, so the device name, this name will be used within the identifying ARN for this device. So basically I'm gonna go back to my slides, and these are the steps actually to create MFA on, not on root account only, this also applies on your user account. So step 1, sign into the AWS management console using the root account email and password. Click your account name, top right corner, select security credentials. So those are the steps, guys. So if you want to create MFA, you can just follow the steps, or you can go into ChatGPT. And if you don't understand the steps, because the steps are specific for the root account, but they are, almost the same as for the user account. So you can do the same actually. And how can we access AWS? So basically, I'm gonna cut this video here because, as you know, guys, I don't want this video getting very, very long because it starts to get boring. So thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the video and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.